That's right. I got my very own Mortal Kombat Arcade Machine. Actually, that's a conversion cabinet. It's not an original Mortal Kombat machine. Learn about arcades, idiot. Thanks for ruining my joy. Appreciate it. That's right, a new arcade machine. My second arcade machine. Yes, I already had the Ms. Pac-Man Galaga Special Anniversary Edition machine, which was actually a gift that began this whole arcade machine fiasco, but I've had it for many, many years, and I just assumed this would be the only arcade machine I would ever have. It's not something that really fell into my brain in the realm of possibility, that I would have more than one arcade machine, let alone more than two. Who knows what may happen down the road? It's a dangerous, slippery slope. It's really iced up now. Once you got two, I mean, it just starts happening. You're gonna get a third one. Oh, I gotta get another one to make it even. Gotta get four. Ooh, gotta have that nice round 5 machines. I don't know. It's scary. It's a scary thing. But let me tell you the tale of how I came across this Mortal Kombat Arcade Machine. So it's Facebook Marketplace. It's the fault of Facebook Marketplace. In January, it was that classic New Year's resolution conversation I have with myself and my body that I'm gonna slightly suck in the gut this year. I was looking for treadmills. Everybody, you know, treadmills, usually they get them in January, and they tend to fail at exercising, so then I can reap the rewards of a cheap treadmill. So, checked in January, nothing too crazy. February, I really started looking at the machines. And then as we got towards the end of February, I found a Mortal Kombat arcade machine as a recommended item because I had looked at some game items on Facebook Marketplace and it said, hey, in your area. Now, up front, I am not an expert on arcade machines. It is not something that I am well versed in. I love arcade machines, but I don't know how to work on arcade machines. I don't know what to look for. I don't know about conversions, which is what this Mortal Kombat arcade machine is. So when I saw this Mortal Kombat, I figured this price seems good. I think seemed like it was working. There were pictures of the control panel and the monitor. Had some issues. Okay, it was covered with black paint, and it had all these stickers on it that were questionable in nature. The control panel, plexiglass on top, had a crack in it. But overall, it looked like it worked. Things that I could fix over time. A fun little project for the Game Dave Game Room. So I contacted my buddy, good buddy, friend of the show, Kevin Hoover, and he is an arcade aficionado. He repairs arcade machines part-time. So if anybody's going to know whether or not I should pick this machine up, it's going to be Kevin. And he said, the guy was very nice about it and said, come take a look at it. And I did. Got my buddy with his truck because I don't have a truck. I don't have the look of the type of person who would have a truck. No, I've got a Sentra, an old Sentra, Nissan.
Excellent.
Japanese construction, baby. So we went over, took a look at this machine. Everything worked fine. Played a little bit of it. It had some gunk. Needed to be cleaned up. So we packed it up on the truck, got it down into the Game Dave basement, which was quite a job. My buddy did most of the heavy lifting. I was the supervisor. I guided the dolly down the steps. We'll say that's what I did. And then I kind of set up an area where I would clean it, because I, can't bring it in all dirty. Got to get the grunge off, get the funk off the machine. So I set it up, and it was time to start cleaning. Now, going into it, Kevin let me know that this was clearly a converted cabinet into Mortal Kombat. Now, this was common practice back in the day, because if you think about it, you have an arcade with all these arcade cabinets, and over time, certain games get less popular as the new games come out. Are you going to completely replace all of your cabinets and just move them out of the way? You got to take care of space. It costs money to buy a full cabinet, a lot more than just getting these conversion kits. So arcades could buy these conversion kits. They were officially licensed. They'd come with the boards, and they'd come with art, depending on what machine you were going to be swapping with this new game. So this was a conversion into Mortal Kombat. You can see the art doesn't quite fit They had to do some trimming. They had to add these little extra notches and things like that. Now, the owner did not know what game this was prior to being Mortal Kombat. I wasn't really worried about it. I just wanted a Mortal Kombat. Who doesn't love Mortal Kombat? I know the original is considered dated. It's a little clunky. It's a little choppy. It's a little slow, but I still love it. It's a classic. It really made a big impact on the gaming industry when it came out. So it's really cool to have Mortal Kombat. I always preferred Mortal Kombat to Street Fighter. That's just me. That's just me. Now, I'd like to have a Mortal Kombat 2 or an Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 arcade machine, but this is great. So the first thing I figured I would do is go ahead and clean up all these weird stickers. Got some pretty good ones. You got some Batman logos on there. My Keaton Batman logos are on there. You got a Mario who's really lost it and let himself go. Got some questionable serial horror things. Breaking Bad stickers. So it's been around a little while. So I figured I'd go ahead and start scraping these stickers off. And I do a little bit of scraping. And as I scrape, it happens, you know. I accidentally scraped off a little bit of the black paint. I didn't see wood. I saw some red. And I scraped it a little bit more, saw some gray, and it looked like a design. So I kind of stopped there, and I went ahead and opened up the machine, vacuumed some things out, and I saw on the back the original serial number label, and it said Taito. Interesting. Looking up Taito arcade machines, I could see that the original Taito graphics for the side art said Taito, had gray, red, sort of graphic design. Could the original Taito art be preserved under all of this paint? I mean, the little piece that I saw, it seemed decent enough. And this was just like they probably just rolled paint on this side of this machine. It wasn't something that they put a lot of effort into. It was just a rough paint job to cover up the original. Because, you know, it would look stupid to have Taito on the side of your Mortal Kombat machine. Taito didn't make Mortal Kombat. Why would you leave it like that? That would look stupid, like the way I have it. Now, before I went any further with the stickers, I went ahead and took off the front glass and cleaned up the monitor behind it a little bit. And I actually went ahead and took out the monitor art that's around it. And sure enough, I flipped it over, and I saw two dragons. Two dragons. Double the dragon. Yes, indeed, this was an original Taito Double Dragon arcade machine. Released in 1987, was this black paint protecting the original? It was time to find out. I mean, spoiler, it did. Now, this was not an easy job to go in and just scrape the paint. Originally, I thought, oh, I'll just scrape this paint by hand. It'll preserve it, and there were black paint flakes everywhere. I had to stop. My wrists were dying, my fingers were dying, and I had the wrong scraping tools. Let's go all in and see if I can find a paint stripper that will hopefully just remove the black paint and keep the art underneath safe. So I use this product called Citrus Strip. It smells like orange glow times 1,000. But it's good for indoor use. I opened up the sliding glass door so I could let it aerate down here in the basement. All right, so I spread it all out on the black side, and oh, see you later, Alley Cat. We've had some good times. Goodbye. See you later, Benjamin Danklin. We hardly knew ye. Poured it out, did a little section, did a little test, let it sit for about an hour and a half. That seemed to be the best amount of time. It started to bubble up, and then I scraped it off. Wiped it down, a little bit of elbow grease, and there it was. I was seeing more and more of the graphics. So I went all out and just gooed all over it with Citrus Strip. And then I just scraped this sludge. It sort of turns into this poopy black sludge as you scrape it. It almost like cooks it and melts it off of the wood. And then you scrape it, and it's like, where do I put all this sludge? So I'm like throwing it in the trash can and trying to wipe it, and eventually I started wearing gloves because safety first. I apologize in advance if I look like I'm doing the wrong thing. Again, not an expert. I was just figuring this out on my own. Initially, I was like, maybe I should just not do this. Just get Mortal Kombat side art stickers and stick them on and just call it a day. but it's that thing about, restoring it to the original, what it used to look like from 1987 when this thing was made. Had to do it. So I succeeded. I was able to get all of the black off with minimal damage to the original art underneath. Now, it had some general, like, dents and scrapes and scratches. I mean, this thing is old, okay? It wasn't made 10 years ago. It wasn't made 20 years ago. No. This thing has seen some stuff. But overall, I was very happy with the way it was preserved under this black paint. What a job that was by myself. So then it was time to lift it up, and oh wait, that's right, I still had to do the other side. So once I got it flipped over to the other side, oh that's right, stickers that needed to be removed. Unfortunately, the citrus strip didn't quite get underneath the stickers so that I could just scrape the stickers up and the paint underneath. I had to sort of prep the area and scrape each sticker individually. Orange Glow didn't really pull them up. I mean, these were like weirdly thin stickers, so as you would pull them, they would just rip. They would just rip. So I had to get in there with the old putty knife and just scrape, scrape, scrape. Didn't have to worry about scratching the black paint because it was coming off anyway. So that happened. There, enjoy my pain in time-lapse form. That time-lapse makes it seem easy. That was a day, just getting the stickers off of this machine, taking breaks and everything else. Then the citrus strip went down, and on this one I didn't need to test it. I knew it worked, so I just covered the entire machine with the citrus strip. Let it sit for about that hour and a half, seemed to be the perfect amount. On the back it says you can leave it up to, 24 hours. I'm glad I stuck with the hour and a half, because I think 24 hours would have bubbled up the entire graphic, and I just would have ruined the entire thing. Scrape the sludge, scrape the sludge, scrape the sludge. And then I kind of had to go in and buff away with some cleaner to buff away the sort of melted black paint. And then do one final buffing, shiner up, and there it was, Taito, restored. I was super excited. I was just so happy that it worked, and I was able to bring this cabinet back to what it would have looked like back when it was Double Dragon, aside from having the art. Fun side fact, I even found a quarter stuck inside where the coin slots were, and it's from 1985. It's kind of interesting to think. Is this a coin that was used to play the original version of it when it was a Double Dragon, released in 87? I don't know. Maybe. Depends on how long people keep their quarters. So there it is, cleaned up. A Taito Mortal Kombat Arcade Machine. I even went in and took apart the control panel and cleaned up the buttons and the joysticks, took everything apart. Didn't really know what I was doing, but with Kevin's help and Googling, I was able to figure out how to get everything taken apart, take apart the switches, take apart the joysticks, and just get in there and clean up all the junk, the funk that was inside everything. Because it was an old machine, it hadn't really been cleaned up to that extent. Everything plays really good. And if you look really close, I can actually kind of, I think, see the original Double Dragon art underneath the control panel, but they had to add some buttons to make this work with Mortal Kombat, so it had been drilled through, and then they overlaid the new Mortal Kombat conversion art. But this may not be the end of the tale of the Mortal Kombat Arcade Machine once a Double Dragon. There may be a part 2, because it wouldn't take much to turn this completely back into an original 1987 Double Dragon machine. Just need the marquee art. Slips right in there. The control panel for Double Dragon, and the board that goes inside. Hook it up. Jamma. We jammin'. It's a Double Dragon machine yet again. And all this work wouldn't look as silly with Mortal Kombat. But then I'm going to have to get another cabinet just to hold the Mortal Kombat board. Slippery slope. Now, of course, the machine isn't perfect. It's been around a while. It's seen many things. The monitor is a little bit wide. I need to sort of adjust the horizontal position or horizontal scaling, the horizontal coil, something like that. I have a lot to learn about machines, but as it is, it works pretty good. There is a little burn in, you can see from when it was a Double Dragon, but it's very slight. You don't really notice it when the machine is running Mortal Kombat, but who knows, there may be a part 2 when this Mortal Kombat machine reverts back to Double Dragon, Double D. Now make sure you stay Double D, digitally distracted, and we'll see what happens with this thing in the future.
Fatality.